go out to, again, assuming these allegations are true, how can you go out to Vegas and seemingly party for your birthday while you know what's at home?
Here's the thing, what you're describing, it's so much more than being selfish. It's the pathology of the parent in that situation. And, again, we assume that when someone becomes a parent, they love their child. I know I've worked with clients who've come from families where they genuinely were not loved by their own parents. There are people in this world who they're not just selfish, they don't have the ability to actually love and protect a child even when it's their own, and that could be because of things that happen in their past. She could have mental health issues. There's so many things that we don't know about the mom, but the thing that we have to understand in the world that we live in is there are children living in families right now where their parents are literally incapable or too unwell. And I don't just mean they have depression or they're selfish or they're struggling with mental health issues. There are people in this world who are very narcissistic. And when you're talking about that type of pathology, a narcissist only cares about himself or herself. They don't have the ability to think, what in the world am I doing by leaving my child? They don't have the ability to actually love and protect a child the way a child needs to be protected and loved.
Yeah, and in terms of some sort of defense, like even a mental health defense, I think would be limited considering there seems to be a level of consciousness for what she did here. So I think that's going to be limited. In terms of if you had the opportunity to speak to this child, what are the questions that you'd want to ask? Because you think about what does this do to a child for the remainder of their life, assuming these allegations are true.
I think the first question I would ask him is, what does it feel like to be left alone in this type of environment? What does that make you think about yourself and the people around you? I would want to know things like, so when your mom left, did you feel like it was your responsibility then to become sort of like the parent? You're now in charge of these dogs. I would want to know, did your mom leave you any instructions or tell you how to contact her? I think the question that keeps coming in my mind when I think about this case, if I were sitting down with him, is I'd want to ask him, what's it like to have a mom who leaves you for 2 weeks in such deplorable conditions? How does that leave you feeling? What I'm imagining, Jesse, is that this is a kid who's feeling like it's his responsibility to take over when his mom leaves. And I'm sure there's a part of him that thinks, well, I have a mom, but does she actually really love me? And I don't think he would ever say that to anybody else because at the end of the day, he's going to want to do what he can to protect her because he doesn't want to get her in trouble.
Now, to be clear,